So what's up, everybody? It's me, GJ Chill, the Chill Man himself, coming to you, or making this video for you, so you can know whether or not you should buy the recently released game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I almost said Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, but I didn't do it this time. This is probably about take 6. No, really. So, this game, okay, I'm just gonna get it out the way. I gave this game about a 7 out of 10. To me, that's not bad. That's not good. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is not going to rewrite the fighting genre by any means, but it's hands down, I think, one of the best Dragon Ball Z games, or one of the best games made in this whole universe, so to speak. Now, I haven't played a Dragon Ball Z game since one of the Budokai games from some time ago. But from what I hear, the past couple Dragon Ball Z games have been pretty bad. And this isn't bad. Now, I'm gonna start with the pros and the cons. So I'm gonna start with the cons first. I really have a problem with the camera angles. Now, typically when you're out in the open, it's not that bad. But there's a particular level. If you go to, I think it's video 3 of my playthrough, of my walkthrough. You go to video 3, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. In tight spaces, the camera is horrible in tight spaces. I mean, it's not the best in the open environment either, but it's, you know, it's not that bad. So I didn't like it because of that. Like, I think that has more to do with the fact that this is a 3D game, and it's a 3D game where people are flying around, and you know, so it's not like Mortal Kombat where everybody is grounded, you know, and you're just shifting. You can kind of keep the camera in a fixed position because nobody's flying up and down. You know, the camera's just all over the place because people are flying all over the place, and then, you know, a lot of times you have multiple enemies, so that makes it even harder. That makes it even more difficult. So I wasn't too much of a fan of it because of that. But I don't think I don't really even think that's something that they could necessarily fix. I mean, I'm sure maybe with a bigger budget they could have tightened it up a little bit, but you know, it's just something you have to work through and get used to. So one of my other cons is that you can buy costumes. They call them costumes, but they're really like, you know, armor or attire. And you can buy attire from various characters, you know, Raditz, Tien, Krillin, and then you can even pick up armor from some of the parallel quests that you can play. The online parallel quests, that's one of my pros. I'll get to that later. You can pick up, you know, attire from those as well, and they give you different boosts to your stats and whatnot, sort of like a MMO a little bit. But the problem I have with the armor and the attire you can get from the store is that there's no real way to view what it is you're buying before you actually buy it. So you may have, I don't know, they don't call it dollars, but you know, whatever the currency is called in this game, you can have like 5,000 saved up, 5,000, 6,000 saved up, and you can really just kind of blow it on something that once you put it on, once you spend that money and you put it on your character, you're like, I'm not wearing this crap. And so you can sell it back, but you don't sell it back for the full price. It's usually like half price or something like that. So you end up losing money, you know. So I don't like that. I think they should have something where you can view what it is you're buying before you buy it, because you might not want to buy it, even if it does boost your stats a little bit. You may not want to buy it because of how it looks. Something else, the lobby could have been better. The lobby is, I think, probably one of the weakest points of the game. Now you have 2 lobbies. You basically have like a single player lobby when you're by yourself, and then you have a multiplayer lobby. I haven't been in the multiplayer lobby yet because I've tried about 2 or 3 different times and I keep getting kicked out. That's one of my other cons. The servers seem to crash a lot. At least when you're doing something online. When you're doing something single player, that doesn't happen. But when you're trying to do anything multiplayer, you know, there's just server issues sometimes. So, and I'm playing on the PS4, so I'm not playing on a PC, so it's not my computer. So, now the single player lobby is funny because the single player lobby, you know, you're by yourself, so there aren't any other players you can see, but there are NPC players, NPC characters, and they have some of the most randomest names. Like you'll have a guy who is part of the Boo race, or the Majin Buu race, you know, so he's, you know, this big pink marshmallow looking character, and his name will be like Herbert or something, or Chris. You'll see someone that looks like they're in the Ginyu Force and their name will be Jacob, or just pick a random Western name and it could be their name, and that kind of throws you off a little bit. It kind of takes you out of the element. So I don't know. I think they could have been a little bit more creative there. But those are really my only problems with the game. The cameras, not being able to view your attire that you're about to buy in the shop. And the lobby issue, that's not a deal breaker. That's just kind of like a quirky thing I noticed. And then the servers, like I've read reports from people who say they don't have server problems. So I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to do it at the wrong time. But, or maybe I'm trying to do it at the time where, you know, too many other people are trying to do it too. So I don't know. And then you don't know how many servers they have dedicated to this game. So, you know, there are a lot of factors. But the pros, the good things about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I really like the multiplayer. I mentioned earlier the parallel quests. You can literally level up just from the parallel quest alone. It reminds me a little bit of Destiny in that sense, where you don't really even have to play the main quest, the main story, which are called time patrols. You don't really even have to do the time patrols to level up. You can level up purely from the online or even offline parallel quests. That they aren't story driven. You're kind of just fighting random people, but you get like little gifts and things, and maybe like drops that come, like I said earlier, like maybe a tire, or these things that they call capsules, like energy capsules or key capsules. And they're really addictive. And you can kind of hone your skills before you get into the time control elements. And you get experience points and everything, and like I said, you can level up just from multiplayer. So I think that's cool, and they allow you to do 1 versus 1 and up to 3 versus 3. So I think the multiplayer alone is worth the purchase. But then since this is a Dragon Ball Z game, at the end of the day, you want the fighting to be fun. All of the other things, like, it's kind of like, you know, if it works, okay, that's icing on top of the cake. But if you have a Dragon Ball Z game and the fighting is boring, or the fighting doesn't work, or it's broken, or whatever, you're not gonna have a good game. And this game to me is very fun because the combat system is fun. The level of customization that you're allowed to give your character, your created character, is amazing. Like, see, you can get different characters, and not even just the good characters, but you can get the bad characters too, like Raditz, for instance, to be your master. So they'll teach you over the course of the game, they'll teach you like their abilities and their skills. I know at first, now you can only have one master at a time. Like, if my first master was Krillin, and he taught me this one ability, but then I came across Vegeta, and Vegeta taught me his Gatling gun. I think it's called the Gatling gun. And so I have like one ability from Krillin and one ability from Vegeta, and you can kind of mix it up. I've come across Piccolo, who's offered to be my master. I've come across Raditz, I said that already, and those are just the ones I've come across so far. You know, who knows who else is out there. So it allows you to have a character where you can really kind of arrange and, you know, combine and recombine different abilities from some of your favorite characters, and I really love that. I like the customization. It's not super deep in terms of attire. So you can't really, the options are limited in terms of how you can look, but in terms of how you can fight, like it's, you know, it's very deep, it's very rich. So I do definitely love that about the game. And then you have these battle items. Well, you have battle items which are called capsules, and then you have these things called Z souls. Now the Z soul, they have different Z souls where, you know, you have a Z soul where you can regain health over time. You have a Z soul where, you know, if you die or you're supposed to die, it'll give you like maybe 25–30% of your health back. It's called Never Give Up. And so yeah, that's basically how that works. And you know, they have various types, and more are unlocked through parallel quests and through just gameplay. The longer you play the game, the more things you see that become open. And then the battle items are basically items where, you know, where you may be fighting and you can use a battle item that'll give you a lot of ki to do some sort of powerful attack. You can use a battle item that'll give you your health back. So you can really have something set up where, even though the fights are kind of challenging and there are times where you have to fight multiple enemies at once, and sometimes you may be by yourself, sometimes you may be with some allies, but you can have something where you have Never Give Up, which gives you health, you know, after you die. And then, so let's say you get killed and you have Never Give Up, the Z Soul Never Give Up, and you get like 25% of your health back. Then you can pop one of the battle items, one of the capsules, the health capsules, and you can have like a full health bar to fight, you know, almost as if, you know, you just turned the game on, as if you just started the time patrol again. So I really like that. So while the game is challenging, and oftentimes the time patrols are split up into certain parts, and you just hit next. Like, you have the option, like, once you get done one part of the time patrol, you can either hit next and go to the next part of it, or you can go back to the lobby. You can hit next, and sometimes you hit next and you start with the same health that you had before. So a lot of times you're fighting enemies where the enemy you may be fighting has a full bar of health, and you have like 30% of your health left, and you're like, how the heck am I supposed to beat this guy? Well, that's where the Z Soul and the Z Soul items and the capsules come into play. So that just adds to the detail, I think, that went into this game from a combat point of view. You can kind of tell where they put a lot of their focus. And so, like I said, you know, I think it's worth the buy. I think it's worth a purchase. You know, one of the things I was worried about when I bought this game was how bad a lot of previous DBZ games are, and I was wondering, you know, am I wasting my money? I don't feel like I wasted my money on this, even though I gave it a 7 out of 10. But to me, a 7 out of 10 is not a bad score. It's saying it's not the greatest game of all time. Oh, I didn't mention the graphics. The graphics are good. The graphics are very good. Again, it's done with the whole anime style, the anime look to it. So they're not going for photorealism. Again, probably because that's just a money issue on their part. You know, we're not talking about Rockstar Games here. So I think it looks good for what they're trying to accomplish. So I don't have anything bad to say about the graphics. I think this is a good looking game. So yeah, I think a 7 out of 10 is not saying it's not the best game of all time. It's probably not even going to be the best game of this year. Actually, I know it's not going to be the best game of the year. I've already played games that are better than this. However, it's not a bad game either. So I don't look at a 7 out of 10 as being a knock, you know, or anything like that. I think it's a very good game, and I think it's worth the purchase. I really could have given it a 7.5, to be honest with you. So you could say between like a 7.5. So yeah, that's Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Thanks for watching this video, and you will be seeing more soon.